Hello. There we go. I can put the heater on to make it toasty.
Lovely.
Oh, there we go. Good morning, everybody. 1 second. I was just saying to John, who came, I would do this even if nobody came. I have actually, especially the computer failed. I'm still here. I even give my talk with the computer off. It's very strange, but it's always nice to have company. Thank you all for being here. We need our full 4-hour candle. Checking the altar. Well, hello. Yes, I have to remember to get down. Wait a second. All I have to do, I think, 1 second, let me get this. I have to learn to bend, either raise the camera or bend my knees, one of the two. So you don't see this, but I'm sitting here bow-legged, so my camera gets in there. Oh, I have to turn the sound on, 1 second. Hopefully the microphone's on. Can you all hear? Very good. We begin a new series for the coming several monthly Zazenkai with Master Keizan's Zazen-Yojinki. Warnings about Zazen. Actually, it's more like things to keep in heart about Zazen, but Yojin means be careful, right? So things to keep in mind about Zazen. I guarantee you it's worth your being here. It's a lovely piece. It's something that I think will add to your practice, and every time I read it, I get something new from it. So we look forward to that. I want to thank Bion, who's here. He worked very hard over the last several days to put together a kind of special video and talk for me for my book, which I hope to show you later. I just got to tell everybody here, when I make the angry face at the beginning, it's kind of, I'm pretending, okay? I gave my stern face at the beginning, but I'm not actually angry. Doshin was worried. Yeah. But that is the same face I give my kids when they don't do their homework, Doshin. That's the thing. Okay, let's see. Are we all set? Who is my Ino today?
Me.
Oh, very good. Bion is doing that as well. Bion is a man of many talents. All right, well, if you've been here before, you know what to do. And if it's your first time, just follow along. Here we go.
마카하냐 하라미다 생요 간대자이고 사즈교진 한야하라미다 지쇼겐고건가이그도 이사이그 야그샤리 지시기 흐이그그흐이 시기 서구제 서구제 시기주 소교 시기 여급은요 제샤리시 제소호그 소프 소프 흑흑흑소흑소흑겐제고그주 시기매제소요 시기매겐니비 제신님의 시기쇼고미소그호 매겐가이나이시매이 시기가이매매묘야금매묘진나이시 묘시야금매묘시진 무그스베즈도매치야금매도구이 매소독도보다이사다레 안야하라미다 고신매 게이게매 고무 그흐온디 사이덴도무소 그교내 한산대소즈에 안야하라미다 오덕구하노부다야 산적산도다이고지 안야하라미다 제다이진슈제다이 묘슈제무조슈 제무도도슈노조이사이그 신제스고고세스 한야하라미다 슈수구세스 슈와수갸테이갸테이 하라갸테이 하라소갸테이 모지소아가 안야신고. The identity of relative and absolute. The mind of the great sage of India is intimately conveyed west and east, while human faculties are both wise or dull. In the way there are no northern or southern ancestors. The subtle source shines clear in the light, the branching streams flow in the dark. To be attached to things is primordial illusion. To encounter the absolute is not yet enlightenment. All spheres, every sense and field intermingle even as they shine alone, interact and even as they merge, yet keeping their places and expressions of their own. Sights differ primarily in shape and character, and sounds in harsh or soothing tones. The dark makes all words one. The brightness distinguishes good and bad phrases. The four elements return to their true nature as a child turns to its mother. Fire is hot, water is wet, wind moves and the earth is dense. Eye and form, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste the sweet and sour, each independent of the other, like leaves that come from the same root. And though leaves and root must go back to the source, both root and leaves have their own uses. Light is also darkness, but do not think of it as darkness. Darkness is light, do not see it as light. Light and darkness are not one, not two, like the foot before and the foot behind in walking. Each thing has its own being, which is not different from its place and function. The relative fits the absolute, as a box in its lid. The absolute meets the relative, like two arrow points that touch and meet air. Hearing this, simply perceive what is, make no criterion. If you do not see the way, you do not see it even as you walk upon it. Walking forward in the way, you draw no nearer, progress no farther. One who fails to see this truth is mountains and rivers away. Listen, those who would perceive this subtle matter. Leave well your time by night and day. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of great wisdom sutra and the identity of relative and absolute, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen Honored One, Soji Keizan Honored One, all successive Honored Ones up until Zuigaku Renpo Honored One, and Gudo Wafu Honored One, and to all other honored ones throughout history, same yet diverse honored ones whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. O Buddhas throughout space and time, O Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Zazen? Kinhin. Zazen? Kinhin. We will have a long Kinhin. Show what? Kind of over to the corner right there.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Take one of these.
Thank you.
We will now have a little talk. You can sit zazen during the talk, or drink tea, relax a bit, and just listen quietly. That's fine.
Tea.
I will take one today. Yeah, I'm like a belt and suspenders, tea and coffee guy. How's your knee, Keizan? I hope you're doing okay. Did you try my Dharma knee for your knee?
Oh dear. Very good.
Thank you. If you notice me not bowing so much, that's because my back is very stiff. All right. Beyond me, we have the verse to open the sutras. Oh, John, one more thing. Sorry.
Sure.
Would you push? There's a button on the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
The speak. No, over there. Other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. Push it in.
I think it's on now.
Is it?
Aha.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Lovely, lovely. John, I have one more request.
Sure.
Could you slide our big wooden door about 3/4 closed?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little drafty today.
And some slide.
Yeah, just about there. Thank you, thank you. We have the big wooden door.
Jado, before you start, if anyone needs the text for today's reading, I've put it in the chat window so you can get it from there in a PDF, and I'll post the entire text in the chat window as well so you can follow along. That's all.
Very lovely, and it's also in the thread for today's sitting. We begin our adventure today with Master Keizan's Zazen-Yojinki, and we'll be spending coming a few months with this. We take it no rush, no hurry at all. I think you all know Master Keizan because we recite his name at every Zazenkai. during our dedication, you'll hear right after we dedicate the merits of this practice to, we dedicate to Master Dogen, of course, but then to Shoji Keizan, Honored One. That's him. He's considered one of the two founders of Soto Zen in Japan, having sharing that with Master Dogen, which is kind of interesting. And I always like to remind folks of the reason why. Master Dogen, of course, brought these teachings from China to Japan, and Master Keizan wasn't even alive until many years after Master Dogen had already passed from this world. So how could he be the founder, the co-founder with Dogen of our Soto way? As a matter of fact, in Master Nishijima's lineage, Keizan got a little bit of a bad rap. You know, my teacher Nishijima was a big Dogen fellow. And we consider Dogen to be the root. And sometimes you'll hear that Keizan kind of, well, shall we say, watered down the soup a little bit. That was my impression for a long time. And I have to tell you that my opinion of Keizan has changed quite a bit. Keizan did do many things to popularize, to make Soto Zen more approachable. Some of them you could argue with. He said the common people, they really don't want Zazen so much. They want funerals and ceremonies. That's why they go to the temple, to get the ceremony to make the rain come so the crops will grow, a ceremony to help their sick child, like that. And Keizan believed in giving them what they wanted. But Keizan was also about Zazen, which we're going to see here because, as you'll see, he was as much a Zazen celebrant as Master Dogen. But the reason Keizan, I think, was good for Soto Zen is that we might not be here without Keizan. I love Dogen very much, but he was in his temple in the mountains with his few students. He turned down political appointments. He even had an invitation with the shogun one time, and the shogun is said to have offered him a temple in the capital, and Dogen refused, went back to his temple in the middle of nowhere. And I think it would have stayed in the middle of nowhere, perhaps, if it wasn't for Keizan. Keizan knew how to spread the word a little bit. And that's why these days there are, I think it's something like, I don't know, 150 temples related to Keizan for every temple that comes directly from Dogen's lineage. So you can criticize or thank Keizan for doing that. It depends how you look. But we're certainly here today because he kept this flame burning. But as you're going to see, Keizan celebrated Zazen as much as Dogen. As a matter of fact, what we're going to read today is really an expansion of Dogen's famous Fukan Zazengi. Fukan Zazengi was Dogen's basic instructions for how to sit Zazen. And Keizan in the Yojinki, which we will read, basically took that basic outline and expanded it. That's what Zen folks do. It's way beyond words and letters, but we add words to what the other guy said. And today I'm going to add more words, you see, to what Keizan said, as Keizan added words to what Dogen said, to explain this way beyond words and letters. But the Yojinki is celebrated in Japanese Soto Zen Buddhism. I heard my first lecture at Sojiji, which is Keizan's temple. I used to sit there for many years. and the master Azuma, who was very kind to me for many years, spent also several weeks talking about the Yojinki. So I'm going to do the same. It's good stuff. And now, what does the Yojinki mean? Yojin means words for caution or things to remember or take to heart. That's all it means. So these are things to take to heart. The kanji for heart, the Chinese character for heart and mind is the same. So some people say things to keep in mind for Zazen, things to keep in heart for Zazen. That's all it is. Now it starts off with a lot of nice Zen cosmic woo-woo. You know, it's good, but I assure you in the coming weeks, Keizan also gets as practical can be, basically telling you what kind of socks to wear or what to do in all number of practical situations. But it starts off today, shall we say, with your original face. And that's good. That's good. That's where it all starts. That's the point. The practical is the cosmic, and the cosmic is the practical, you see. Some folks say, I come to Zen, though, I'm not that interested in that. I just want to find maybe how to relax a little bit, And I like to remind them that, that's fine. Doing a little meditation, this mindfulness meditation that's so popular, that's really good. You had a busy day, you want to come and relax. But you know what the ultimate relaxation is? What Master Keizan's talking about today. Why? Get a pencil, it's mathematical. You can relax in this world of divided things, in which you get up in the morning, you got places to go, people to see, you got troubles, you got the other people, some of them drive you crazy. Kaitan's got his knee today. Doshin's off to one thing, the lizard's sick. Doshin's a big lizard guy, he collects them. You still got the lizards, Doshin? You bring some with you? You got 2 of them? Okay, I hope they're well. Let's dedicate today to our lizard friends. Onsho's got his messy windows. It's a world of things and troubles. Ross has got his students that I'm sure sometimes drive him up the tree. We live in a world of divided things, and sure, you can come to relaxation here and just relax a bit. But the ultimate is to realize a reality beyond all the crazy things. That is, oh, here's Chris. How you doing there? Good to see you. The ultimate is to realize, if you really, really want to relax, the world beyond time, the world beyond separation, the world beyond the other people to sometimes conflict with you, the world beyond war, the world beyond death. Boy, that's the big wholeness, the flowing, that is the ultimate peace, the ultimate relaxation. That's what Master Keizan is going to be talking about today. Nothing wrong with a little peace in this world, but this is the big piece of one piece, you might say. Or we'll actually see you can't even say one, it's so whole, like that. A couple of cautions about that, though. I'm going to read the first sentence here and then give you another long little talk. And to make the rest of this is going to go much fast once I get this little part out to explain what we're going to be seeing today. But let's start with the first sentence. Zazen means to clarify the mind ground and dwell comfortably in your actual nature. This is called the display of the original face and manifesting the original ground. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That wholeness, the flowing beyond all division, beyond all time. the ultimate peaceful, like that. Now we're gonna go into the rest of this, but I gotta say this to make it clear what we're going to read. There's a lot of misunderstandings about that, I think, or at least us Soto folks have our own special take on it, which I think is very wise. You see, all Eastern religions, in a sense, maybe even Western mysticism, they all are kind of about this original face, this wholeness, that who we cannot say in words, something like that. Some may call it God in some religions, that's fine. But we don't, if you put a name on it, and you put an image that you try to hold in the stupid box between your ears, you're already limiting this, you see. That's going to be Master Dogen's point. If you try to stuff it into an idea that you keep here between the ears, you're making it small. This really is something vast, boundless. But the point is, in many religions, Eastern religions, even some Buddhism, the point is to realize that, get there, and stay there. We're not about that. I mean, we want to realize it. It's vital to realize it. But if you stay there, in a sense, you can't live in this world. Because this is the world of division and time. That other place is without division in time. You can't even put your pants on because there are no pants in the morning, like that. So sometimes I was reading, what's that, Eckhart Tolle, and I was looking for the expression he said, and it said something like, we have to get beyond all the lies of this world to get to the truth. That's a very common Eastern belief. This world of division and time and chaos and war and peace and sickness and health is a lie. It's a delusion. And we must get to the reality, which is only this wholeness. The Sotos and Master Dogen's perspective, and Keizan's too, a little more subtle than that. And it's something like this. When you have to realize this wholeness, but once you do, you realize this divided world was this all along in other guise. And well, it's still a mess, don't get me wrong. And you still have sick lizards and students who drive you crazy and dirty windows and war and all that other stuff. It's not the same because you realize it's also this other, like that. And I think that's a much more practical way to find peace in this world of chaos. Not to try to escape it to this world of the other, but to realize the world of the other, this is not the world of the other. It's right here all along when you realize it, even though this world is still crazy, like that. Got my point? So let's go into how Master Keizan expresses this. So Zazen means to clarify the mind ground and dwell comfortably in your actual nature, called by many things like your original face before your mother and father were even born, right? This is called the display of the original face, manifesting the original ground, the ground from which all of this springs or is in other guise. In Zazen, both body and mind drop off. Now, Master Dogen said the same expression. Our way of Zazen is for body and mind to drop off. That means that the separation of you think there's your body and your mind that's separate from the rest of the world drops away. I often add an asterisk in this practice, even if you don't have a big dropping away, you know, they call it like kensho, you can experience that where you get a big dropping away. We still experience through Zazen what I call a softening of the borders. The hard borders between self and other somehow become permeable. And you see the outside is just the inside flowing out, and the inside is the outside in, like that. So you can have a big dropping. It's real, you know. And not only from Zazen, you can have it, scientists have shown if you put electrodes certain parts of the brain, you can actually stimulate that. And frankly, some drug experiences may do that too. It's kind of a dead end for us. You know, beautiful, like I said, beautiful place to visit, can't live there. But yes, you can have a real dropping away where you realize, oh, I'm inside this body and the world is out there. No, it's one thing, like that, okay? But anyway, your body and mind drop off, and you will be beyond such forms as sitting or lying down. Also, Master Dogen said this, and a very strange expression to begin an instruction for Zazen, which is how to sit. Wait a second, you're going to spend the next many months telling us how to sit, and the first thing you say is it's beyond sitting or lying down? What does that possibly mean? Again, like many things in Zen, you look at it both ways. We sit to realize it's not just about sitting, it's about everything. All the traditional postures, when they say sitting and lying down, they mean standing, walking, flying through the air. Whatever you do, it's that. It's everything. It's not limited to this, which is not that. It's not limited to me, which is not you. It's not limited to up, that is not down. It's not limited to yesterday, which is not today, which is not tomorrow. And yet we sit very still in Zazen right now to realize this, that it's everything like that. So of course we sit Zazen to realize that it's really beyond sitting or standing or lying down. As a matter of fact, it's always, whatever you're doing during your day, driving a car, it's driving a car. Making lunch, this original face is making lunch. With your hands in your kitchen, asterisk, you in the kitchen and the whole universe are not as separate as you think you are. You're the kitchen come to life making lunch. The kitchen is you also come to life. And the whole world is like this. So it's beyond these opposite forms. It's free from considerations of good and bad. We drop our human preferences and judgments. What I like, what I don't like. This is a good thing. This is a bad thing. This is the good candidate. That's the bad candidate. This is the good side in this war. That's the bad side. Again, have to put a couple of asterisks. That doesn't mean that this thing we're realizing is kind of neutral and meaningless because it's beyond good or bad. Is it amoral? No. What we discover is it's kind of a big good. When you get beyond all the broken pieces of this world, it's a big piece, a big good. It's down here that our personal likes and dislikes, and you're my friend and you're my enemy, and this is what pleases me and this is what displeases me, kind of hides that from us. Second asterisk, we still need likes and dislikes in this world to live. Right? Otherwise, I wouldn't make toast for breakfast. I'd eat, I don't know, the table, whatever it is. You have to have your likes and dislikes. Onsho would be out of a job if somebody said, "Oh, I'm dirty windows, clean windows, all the same to me." Right? You have to make You have to make judgments. Kaitan has a knee right now, and part of him inside should go, oh yes, hurting knee is just hurting knee. Yes, that's right. That's right. But on the other hand, he's got to go to the doctor, get his knee fixed. Like that. We live both sides of this no-sided coin. That's what I'm trying to get to you. You don't have to be at a place beyond all likes and dislikes only. You can't live there. Neither should you be lost in a world of, it's just what I want and I demand and I like and it displeases me. That is ignorance too. You have to be in both at once, you see, like that. Anyway, free from considerations of good and bad, Zazen transcends distinctions between ordinary people and sages. It goes beyond judgments of deluded or enlightened. Zazen includes no boundary even between sentient, ignorant beings like us and Buddha. And again, you might say, what? You mean there is no enlightenment? I could just stay here as deluded, being an ignorant sentient being, violent, whatever I am. That's the same as being Buddha? Yes, but no. There it is again. This wholeness is so whole, we even drop judgments of this is enlightenment, this is delusion, this is a sage, this is a Buddha, this is an ignorant fool. We even drop that. That's how whole it is. And guess what? Come closer. When you realize that, you're an enlightened sage and perhaps Buddha. And Master Dogen would add, but we don't stop there. Buddhas go beyond Buddhas, Dogen used to say. What does that mean? Coming back to this world of all its troubles, endless delusion, that's where the rubber really meets the road of our practice. That's where Buddhas really need to be Buddha every day. You don't just realize the state beyond all things again. You come back to this world filled with delusion, you somehow apply the gentleness, the wisdom of a Buddha down here in the mess, and that's where you're really a Buddha in action, not a Buddha lost in the wholeness and the clouds, you see. Some people think when you realize this enlightenment, you're done, you're out of here. Everything, suddenly this world is no problem anymore. You're just an enlightened being. You're now Buddha. Everything is peace and enlightenment. You have no troubles anymore. Come closer. That's Buddha bullshit. Copyright that, Bjorn. That's Buddha bull. Buddhas then come back to this world and apply the great peace down here in the mess. Apply the deathless down here in the world of birth and death, you see. So Buddhas see enlightenment in ignorance after ignorance, as Dogen would say. Okay? Therefore, put aside, during Zazen, put aside all affairs, let go of all associations and attachments. When we're sitting, you put down your thoughts of tomorrow, your worries. You put down the resentment or the sadness about what happened yesterday. You put down your responsibilities for a time and you feel free. There's nothing to do. Nothing needs be done. Zazen is a wholeness so whole, nothing lacking, that nothing needs to be done. That's the next phrase. So do nothing at all. I don't like that so much. I like the phrase, I would express it better as experience that nothing needs to be done. Except the world is already this, whatever it is, whole. Your sitting is whole and complete. Nothing needs to be done. The six senses need to produce nothing. What you see, what you hear, nothing's lacking, you see. Don't fabricate anything with the six senses. We don't sit there wallowing in thoughts and judgments. We just sit in the wholeness and completion of it all. This is our experience of Zazen. Then we gotta come back again. This is where the rubber meets the road of Buddhahood. We come back to this world where we have to do stuff. We have places to go and people to see. We have to have associations. We have to have some attachments. I fed the cat this morning because I love the cat, like that. This is how we have to get through life. We have to have affairs to deal with. And we realize it's all one great thing, you see. So what is this I'm talking about? Is it, should we call it Buddha? Should we call it the emptiness? Shall we call it Buddha nature or the one, or what do we call it? And this is where the Zen fellow says, don't try to stuff it in a box and put a label on it. Because when you're talking about the wholeness, don't make it small. Asterisk, it is the smallest thing and the biggest thing, which Master Keizan's going to say. It's literally the smallest atom, the smallest grain of sand, all the stars in the sky. But it's beyond big or small too. It's everything, everything. So what is this? Its name is unknown. It cannot be called just body. It cannot be called just mind. Trying to think of it, the thought vanishes. Trying to speak of it, words die. It is like a fool, an idiot, but also like a sage. I think that means that, a fool doesn't get all up in his own head trying to explain things and just experiences. I once went to a baseball game with a friend of mine who, well, I wouldn't say he was this kind of a simple guy, but he loved baseball. Actually, he was I think he had a little disability, and he was a simple fellow, we would say, but he loved baseball. So if you went to the baseball game and you tried to talk to him, what do you think of the pitcher? What do you think of, this, or what's that batting average? I don't think he had a slight any idea of it. I don't even think if he really maybe knew the rules of the game, except, that he had his team, and he loved baseball. Couldn't explain the first thing to you about it. Barely could speak, the guy, but loved baseball, just to watch. Like that. We can be like that about the universe. Our simplicity is actually sage-like. Now, it is as high as a mountain or as deep as the ocean. It's everything. But notice, it's a mountain without a peak, ocean without depth. Don't try to limit it. The ocean has a bottom, the mountain has a top, right? The one, I'm looking at Scuba Mountain over here. There's a top to it, it ends. This is a mountain that has no top. The ocean with no bottom. That's how vast this is. Boundless, boundless. Its brilliance is unthinkable. It shows itself silently. Between sky and earth, between heaven and earth, everything, only this whole body is seen. Look around. Look at the doorknob over there, the curtain. Look at your cat. Look at one of your lizards there, Doshin. You're seeing it. You are seeing it. Look at the beard in the hair in your beard, my friend. It's right there. My cup of tea. Nothing escapes. This one is without comparison. It's even beyond life and death. He has completely died. When a Zen master says something like that, that usually means that's why he's truly alive, because he realizes something that's beyond life and death. eyes clear. He stands nowhere because there's no one particular place, and thus everywhere, every place. Here, there, in Chris's house, on top of Daimon's head, everywhere. Except with Shujin. Shujin, not you. I'm just kidding. Even with Shujin, it's all there. Where is there any dust? Looking around here, I could have done a better job dusting today. Tommy, I got up a little late today. Please excuse me. I usually dust before we have our Zazenkai, and I was a little late today, and it's a little dusty, but it's in every grain of dust. The dust usually means the delusion in this world that clouds our eyes too, right? The dust, the hate, the ignorance, the violence. This is the dust of the world. It's hard to see. And we must avoid the violence and the greed and the anger and the war. We must, but it's that too. Even as we try to stop it, even as we try to fix the problems of this world, it's that also. Nothing is left out. It's Kaitan's aching knee, even as Kaitan goes to the doctor. Like that. Where is there any dust? What can obstruct such a one? Clear water has no back or front. Space has no inside or outside. We usually think of everything as back and front, has a back and a front. My hand has a back and a front. There's up and down, inside and outside, because it's a world of division and dimensions and geometry. I'm here, you're over there. This has no back or front, no inside or outside, asterisk. It's also every back and front, every up and down, every inside and outside. Completely clear, its own luminosity shines before form and emptiness were fabricated. Oh, wait a second, what does that mean? I thought we're talking about emptiness. And this world of division is the form. Yes, we are. But note again, these are words, labels. Even you put that down, it's the emptiness without the word emptiness to stick on it and make it small. It's also the emptiness, as the Heart Sutra we recited says, form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form, precisely. The form is the emptiness is form, and it's also that when you drop those words completely, like that. Objects of mind and mind itself have no place to exist. Now he's going to, by the way, tell you why some people say it's the mind, but he wants to remind you that even that's a label, a word to put on this. This has always already been so, but it is still without a name. The third patriarch, Sangsan, great teacher, temporarily called it mind, and Venerable Nagarjuna once called it body. Enlightened essence and form, giving rise to the bodies of all the Buddhas. It has no more or less about it. I like this other translation I found, I think by Matzo, forget which one it was, Cleary maybe, has neither lack nor excess. I often say that this world, we live in a world of lack, things we have to fill, mouths we have to feed, hunger, money we have to put in our bank account. We live in a world of lack. We also live in a world of excess, too much smoke in the air, too much violence on the TV. But this wholeness is so whole, it is beyond all lack and excess, asterisk, as it is also this world of lack and excess. This is symbolized by the full moon, but it is this mind which is enlightenment itself. The full moon is the traditional symbol for this wholeness, this illumination, this light. Remember that Master Dogen said in the Genjo Koan too, that the moon shines in every dewdrop on every blade of grass. In other words, that wholeness is fully contained in everything of this world. It's our Elvis Presley tribute moment. Elvis lives. All right. That's our oil heater for, I think you all know that by now. Our oil heater does that from time to time. This is symbolized by the full moon, but it is this mind which is enlightenment itself. Chris, Elvis had a few songs about moon. Yes. I mean, I'll post those later. Anyway, getting off track. The luminosity of this mind shines throughout the past and brightens as the present. It's truly timeless. Nagarjuna used this subtle symbol for the samadhi of all the Buddhas, but this mind is signless. It's not a thing with borders. It's not a thing with just appearance, though it is all appearances. All appearances. It's non-dual. The differences between forms are only apparent. They only seem to be so. Just mind, just body. Difference and sameness miss the point. He said it's not the mind, it is not the body, but now he's coming back again. Yes, it is the mind, it is the body, it is all the difference in this world. Body arises in mind, and when the body arises, they appear to be distinguished. Then he says, only mind, only body. This is an alternate translation. Only mind, only body. Their difference and sameness are not the issue. Mind changes into body, and when the body appears, they are distinguished. I think what he's getting at is sometimes Zen masters make the point is that our mind, the small mind here between our ears, is this mind that cuts things up into little pieces. There's a fellow, I think he's a physicist or a neuroscientist named Hoffman, who says that our view of this world is kind of as false as seeing like the icon on your computer desktop that actually is a summary for your brain to handle of all the complex electronic processing that is going on in all the chips in the computer. You can't handle all that's going on in your computer right now, so it's summarized by an icon on your desktop that when you click it, something happens. Well, our whole view of the world is like this. Well, the stupid box between our ears has kind of created this world largely between the ears in a way we can understand it. We can't deal with all the complexity that's going on there. My friend Doshin here is a biologist. We have other scientists here. If you actually knew what's going on in every atom and every cell of the tree outside and the biology of that bird that just flew past and the sky above, every breeze, if you knew all the complexity of it, you couldn't handle it. Your brain couldn't process it. We'd be overwhelmed with data. So our brain kind of summarizes it. Oh, it's a bird. It's a tree. Don't need to know what's going on in every leaf with its processes of photosynthesis right now. The brain makes it simple. Well, his point here is, first off, as soon as the mind, our mind, kind of gets stuffed into our body and starts dividing the world, that's when the troubles begin. And also, the Buddhist view of mind is something vaster, something vaster. It might be a kind of cosmic consciousness, some people say, and we just experience a little drop of that. Yes, it could be. But it's easy to understand that our mind is actually the whole thing. For example, I'm seeing the tree outside, and I'm seeing Onsho over there, and I think Onsho's not me. He's not. My mind is here. Onsho's over there. The tree's over there. My mind is what happens behind my eyes, between my ears. Buddhist view is a little different. Onsho's in my mind. You didn't realize that, Onsho. At least my version of Onsho is in my mind. My mind, and the tree outside is not just the tree in the garden. It is in my mind. Even Elvis is in my mind. It's all in my mind, you see. The mind is the inside and the outside sweep in beyond all division. Same for you too. Don't worry about it, Onsho. You're not just in my mind, because I'm also in yours, you see. I'm also in yours, I suppose, if you're seeing me now. And it's all this one great thing, which may be a great mind. This is one of the traditional ways that Buddhists would view this. So, where was I? When the body appears, they are distinguished. We start dividing things. When one wave arises, 1,000 waves follow. Your mind is like an ocean. It's all just still. And suddenly your mind starts making the waves of the separate things and judgments and opinions and me and you, you put names on it. When one wave arises, they all start arising. And we've suddenly taken the one ocean, and it's now a twirling, complex, storming sea, like that. So when one wave arises, 1,000 waves follow. The moment a single mental fabrication arises, all the numberless things of the universe arise. We break up the wholeness into all its little pieces, you see, right here in the head. Because we need all the little pieces and the judgments in order to live and survive. But it's hard you can't live in the wholeness, but don't lose the wholeness. That's the point here. Now, the next things he's talking about are the old equivalent of saying, like, it's the periodic table. It's all the organs of the body. It's all the senses. It's all the things that we use to divide the world into pieces. So the 4 elements and 5 aggregates, that's the traditional version of the periodic table, basically. The 4 limbs and 5 senses of the body appear, and on until the 36 body parts. That means the eye and the thing the eye sees, what the tongue and what the tongue tastes, like that. Okay? And the 12-fold chain of interdependence. No time to talk about all that. It just means suddenly, of course you have eyes, of course you have a tongue, of course you got a brain, of course you have a hand, of course we have a chemist here, Keizan. You're not out of a job. There is a periodic table. You can still deal with your atoms and molecules. Don't worry about it. Just remember, there's also the wholeness that sweeps it all in. It's our mind that also gets lost just in the division, just in the separation, just in the world of the senses, just in the world of the parts, not the whole, like that. Once fabrication arises, it develops continuity, but it still only exists through the piling up of the myriad dharmas. Dharmas here means phenomena. Suddenly we got a world of all this stuff and things, and complexity. That's the process he's talking about. Because the mind that was just the ocean started making all these waves, and we're in a world of complexity. It doesn't mean they're not out there really. It just means that we create this world only of separation and division and different things, and we can get lost there. So he says it directly. The mind is like the ocean waters, the body like the waves. But then again, remember, the world of complexity is the wholeness is the world of complexity. There are no waves without water, and no water without waves. The wholeness, in my view, maybe, this is my suspicion, needs us and all the separation to actually live. This is my great supposition about maybe what's going on in the universe. I'm way off of the page here. I'm talking my personal suspicion. The wholeness could not experience anything without us, our senses, our stubbing our toe. The Kaitan, if the universe wants to have an aching knee, it needs you. You do it a service. The universe even needs Elvis. Needs the whole thing. So there are no waves without the water, but really there's no water without the waves. Water and waves are not separate. Motion and stillness are not different. So it is said, a person comes and goes, lives and dies as the imperishable body of the 4 elements and 5 aggregates. This whole world is not something to escape. This whole world is to realize what it actually is and live wisely and gently in it. That's what we fail to do. Don't be in a hurry to get out of this world. Be in a hurry to realize what it really is, this wholeness that is all this mess. And let's do a good job of cleaning up some of that mess. So Zazen is going right into the ocean of awareness, manifesting the body of all the Buddhas. The natural luminosity of mind suddenly reveals itself, and the original light is where? Everywhere. Everything. Everybody. Every moment. Every situation. Every problem. Every birth. Every death. Every sickness. Every cure. Every blade of grass. Every star in the sky. Every molecule. Everywhere. There is no increase or decrease in the ocean, and the waves, though rising and falling, never come and go anywhere that they weren't all along. They've always been the ocean. They never turn back. Okay, well, that was my messing up. Master Keizan, who just messed up Dogen, who was messing up the other fellows he was quoting. So sorry about that. Any questions, complaints, or requests for money, refunds, please? Now's your chance. As I always say, I've either left you beyond words or too stunned to speak. Okay. In that case, we will have let's sit a quick moment of Zazen. It's going to be so quick, I'm not even going to ring the bell. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Remember, even that moment of Zazen includes everywhere beyond sitting or standing up. Now we will have the verse to close the sutras.
May the merits of these teachings penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together may realize the Buddha's way. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Very lovely. Now it's time for us to stretch our legs a little. The Yojin of the Zazen-Yojinki means beware, caution. That's one of the interpretations. And I found the caution dance. This is a good thing to remember here during the winter. It's the fire caution dance, which is, since most wooden temples, including Keizan's temple several times have burned to the ground. It's a good thing to keep in mind. So let's all be cautious and have a little dance. Give me 20 minutes to get up here. One moment. All right. Okay, lovely. I forgot to have caution during the have caution song, and I almost fell on my keister. Please be cautious in your dancing too. All right. Zazen. We will have a long Kinhin. We will now have the Metta verses, followed by Zazen. You gonna stand for it? You can sit, you can stand. Make yourself at home. We may have to add an extra hour to Zazenkai next time so I can get up and down. Okay, here I go. Here we go. What was there? Okay. Well, folks, my cat, this is perfectly fitting, wonders when I leave the house, you know, she's worried I'm not going to come back, I guess. So she sits in the window right in my office. You can see right across the garden here and just watching me. Now, you would think she's watching the birds perhaps, but I'm pretty sure she can see me and it's me she's watching. So I thought we would have our metaverses, the animal edition today. Animal edition for our four-legged friends or any other animal you have. Doshin can chant for his lizards. That's fine. It's kind of fitting. Yesterday, my daughter told me kind of a sad but happy story. She was walking home from school with her friend, and they were on a back road, and they came along a cat that had passed away. And of course, the children were a little sad to see that. So my daughter, being my daughter, knew what to do. And she said, oh, everyone, we have to do the Heart Sutra. We have to do the Hanya Shingyo. And of course, I think none of the kids knew what that was, but she showed them, okay, stand here in Gasho. And we're going to chant the Hanya Shingyo. And I said, well, do you know the Hanya Shingyo? And she said, well, not really. So we just went, Hanya Shingyo, Hanya Shingyo, Hanya Shingyo, Hanya Shingyo, Hanya Shingyo, Hanya Shingyo. So that's the heart of the Heart Sutra, right there. So today, let's chant for our animal friends. We can begin with ourselves. We're part of the animal kingdom. But then maybe a four-legged friend or other little critter in our family. Then maybe a friend or a dog that's kind of a friend of us somewhere. Then a stranger dog we barely know, or other animal. Doesn't have to be a dog. I'm more of a cat guy myself. Then, a bad, angry critter. Okay? And then we're going to chant for all of us sentient beings. All ready? We'll begin with ourselves, the Homo sapiens. May I be free of suffering. May I feel safe and still. May I be free of enmity. Enmity means anger. May I be loving, grateful, and kind. May I be healthy and at ease in all my ills. Kaitan, include your knee there. May I be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay, now for an animal in our family, our childhood pet, something like that. I have to chant for our Yuriko here, but I'll include all the cats we've ever had. She's still staring at me. Okay. May she be free of suffering. May she feel safe and still. May she be free of enmity when I accidentally step on her tail. Done that once or twice. May she be loving, she is. Grateful and kind. May she be healthy. She's getting up there in years. And at ease in all her ills. May she be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay, now a friend dog, a dog or I keep saying dog, but you know what I mean. An animal we know. Let's see. May they be free of suffering. May they feel safe and still. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving, grateful, and kind. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay. Now for animals we barely know or just met. Our cats all come from the rescue. So there's an organization here in town here called Capin that does a lot to take in stray cats and dogs. So I will chant for all the animals up there. May they be free of suffering. May they feel safe and still. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving, grateful, and kind. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay? Now, let's see. For that, the tigers and poison snakes and such, right? Or that dog with an attitude. Anything come to mind? I'm going to be chanting for American President Biden's dog, who apparently keeps biting the Secret Service agents. I heard that story. I will chant for him. May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy and at ease in all his ills. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay? And now we come back to what we always do, chanting for all the sentient beings. May we be free of suffering. May we feel safe and still. May we be free of enmity. May we be loving, grateful, and kind. May we be healthy and at ease in all our ills. May we be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay. Once we finished chanting for her, Yuriko got bored and left the window apparently. So probably thought it was time for a nap, as cats do. All right. Well, we've got a few more minutes. I don't know. What should we do? Did anybody bring any cards? Well, I guess. Oh, I got an idea. Let's sit Zazen. How's that? All right. You can just sit where you are. Chris, you were sitting so still. I was wondering if that was a photo for a second, and then you moved. Very good. All right. Zazen. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows. Bjorn has the hard job here. He has to get up gracefully, get all the way over here in time for chanting. John, could you straighten this a bit?
Okay.
Thank you.
How about that?
That's perfect. You're very good here. 1 second. I won't discombobulate.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by masons of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way unattainable.
Well, lovely, lovely, everyone. All right, let me get back down here in my bow-legged position. Uh, yeah, wait a second, a little lower. There I am. Don't tell them what this looks like from behind. Okay. May samsara be kind to all of you this week, and peace to everyone. And spring is pretty much just right around the corner. I can feel it. Plum blossoms are in bloom here. All right, everyone. I'll see you later. Peace to you all. Bye-bye. See you later, Shonen. Peace to you. See you guys. Thanks for taking some of your